have reached the promised land.
Woo, baby! Tesla shot us not only past the moon, but straight to Mars to that promised land of juicy cap gains and printing those wonderful tendies, baby. But now we're all plagued with the question of, if you've been holding Tesla stock, is it time to start taking profit? That has been the broader conversation across the entire YouTube space for any big YouTuber that has been holding Tesla, whether we're talking the likes of Meet Kevin or Galileo over at Hyperchange. And all of these people seem to fundamentally think that if you have debt and you are sitting up huge right now in these companies, it is time to trim a little bit. But I am definitely not one of those people in that position, as Tesla starts making up almost 10% of my entire weighted portfolio. I'm going to discuss how I feel about the stock, what I think the future capabilities still could be, and the risk tolerance of if you plan on buying this today. But the first thing we got to talk about is how much this conversation has truly changed in the last several months, let alone the last 2 years surrounding this company. I mean, it wasn't even back in May when people thought this was going to be a $100 stock, thanks to the likes of Michael Burry. That was kind of some analyst consensus to some degree, and now we are already 10x over that $100 price target prediction, so no one's complaining by any means. But I mean, oh my God, take a listen to all the stuff on CNBC today. If you've been on CNBC, you probably heard one of these conversations. Take a listen.
Where Tesla is seen by many as the main event akin to a full stack sustainable ETF. I was Morgan Stanley.
Tesla's the clear leader in EVs. They've got a clear advantage in battery production costs, which has enabled them to be profitable 9 quarters in a row. Tesla's sitting in the catbird seat. We'll see how long they can stay on top.
Finance in 2021, your value is not ascribed by your future cash flows. It's by your proximity to Elon Musk. And I think Hertz might have tried to take that strategy.
So, I mean, with the exception of Tesla, I mean, Tesla's actually a phenomenon we have to talk about, because I've actually never seen a stock go up endlessly on nothing. David, Tesla, when did we last see a Tesla, David?
When did we last see a what?
A stock like Tesla.
It's been quite a while.
So look, I can speak from my own personal position, somebody that has no debt, what I feel about the company, if it's appropriate for me to start taking profits. Many of you know I primarily take profits at this point based off a waiting game. Like if Tesla starts making up way more than 10% of the portfolio, I'd probably trim a little bit. But the conversation has nothing to do with that at this point. The real conversation comes down to, where do you believe Tesla's going to be by 2030? You shouldn't be buying stocks without a 5 or 10 year time horizon on any company unless you're gambling, in my humble opinion here. But let's presume Tesla is going to be a $4 trillion company by 2030. If those price targets come into fruition, that means our upside potential from a $1.2 trillion market cap is just over 3 times, let's say. But let's presume it's going to be less than that, and let's say it's going to be like even 3 trillion, right? So our upside potential is really only 2 to 3 times from here. Now, the question that has to start coming into play is, do you believe that there is another stock that you know of, whether it's small cap, whether you think something like Google or Facebook has more potential than that over the same 5 or 10 year period? And if that question is yes, you have to start contemplating on whether allocating money toward Tesla is going to be the best idea. But that's not the only thing you have to contemplate. You also have to understand that if Tesla has the highest degree of certainty of doing that, yeah, you could find a stock that could 5 or 10x, but there's not nearly as much conviction or certainty behind another company achieving it, right? So for where Tesla sits right now, we're kind of at this weird, almost what I'm going to call a fair value set for the trajectory the Tesla business is kind of heading in. And with the degree of certainty I have around this company, I'm still pretty comfortable holding the entire position in my personal portfolio. I don't got debts. I got nothing else going on, but I'm not also that intrigued to be buying it at these prices, because like Warren Buffett says, if you're willing to hold a stock that has been flying through the roof and you're not taking gains, you have to presume that is just the same as buying the stock at the current levels, right? And I'm on the fence of, I don't particularly like buying Tesla here, because we can find companies with the same size market caps of the likes of Google or Facebook that are generating tenfold that revenue, that are going to have a lot of time to reinvest that revenue into other growing businesses that can further traject the company moving forward. Now, I think Tesla, honestly, for me personally, I'm more excited to see what the company's doing by 2030 to 2040. I think that's when this company becomes the largest company in the world. That's when we start seeing the fruition of all these crazy, huge capped industries, whether we're talking utilities with solar and batteries, or we're talking the full auto industry. Because right now, I think Tesla's primarily priced in for its auto business, but that doesn't really cap in a lot of the self-driving. If we get into Tesla bots and AI, not even talking about crypto or Bitcoin and all that other, facets that come with the company. So I still think Tesla's a great hold here. I'm not personally buying it. If you wanted to take a position, I would honestly try and buy the dips and whatever dips we do get and just be very, very patient with it. But all of my capital at this point, folks, is primarily going to be looking at things of the likes of Google, which I talked pretty aggressively about yesterday. But yeah, I'm sitting up at almost a 10% weighting in a 350K portfolio. That's what we hit almost today, all-time highs. Incredible stuff across the entire markets. And yeah, I'm excited to continue listening to this story. But as I said, I don't like when everyone and their grandmother's piling in, because the farther this stock is going to run is the more diminished return you're going to get over the next 5 to 10 years. And then it comes to the point of you'll probably make more money for the time being somewhere else. So I'm hoping we start seeing Tesla flatline. I know that's kind of weird after, seeing parabolic runs, but I want to see some of their value bake in as the quarters come through and the factories come online. But just my personal opinion. What do you guys think in that comment section below? Love to hear it. As always, stay cool, stay awesome, and I look forward to catching you tomorrow.